There are plenty of ways to progress within calisthenics without having to add weight. Now, how does one progress in calisthenics without having to add weight? Well, for starters, something very simple, which would be just adding more reps. Now, with adding more reps, it's basically just as simple as that, basically. So, first, let's say you are doing a pull up, and at first you're only able to do 5 pull ups. So now, whatever program you might be following, maybe you're doing pull ups 2 times out of the week, 3 times out of the week. And if you're training with a good enough intensity where you're approaching failure or going to failure, of course, from week to week, you'll find that your pull up numbers will go up even from session to session. So let's say you're doing 5, and then possibly a month later or 2 months later, now you're able to do 10 in a row. You can do that with any type of movement. You can apply that with just any movement in general when it comes to even just weight training. But calisthenics especially applies, especially if you're just doing your own body weight. You can get upwards to 10 to 25 to 30 reps, depending on whatever movement it is. You'll still progress. You'll still gain strength and muscle. Again, all you have to do is just train with the right amount of intensity. And leading right into my next point would be to master whatever movement you are doing. So as in just getting better at the form, and over time, trying to just perfect your form in that movement. So again, example with a pull-up, at first maybe you're just doing regular pull-ups where maybe you're kicking at your legs a little bit to help you get up. And then you're able to do 10 of those, right? And then at some point you slow down the tempo. You take your time throughout each rep, and now you're back to 5. But those pull-ups are way better than those 10 pull-ups you were doing before. So now that you're at a better, I'd say, version of a pull-up or having better form, you can get with better that improved form. And so let's say you get up to 10 reps of the clean pull-ups. Now you can add a pause, right? A pause at the top, a pause at the bottom. Therefore, you're going to have a lot more control in the movement. And again, now you just might be back down to 5, and you just progress there and there until you kind of perfect the movement, having immaculate form. And just doing that, you might be able to, again, progress up to like 20, 30 reps. Imagine you're able to do 20 reps of just clean pull-ups. That would be amazing just for your back and the health of your shoulders and even your grip. And even with push-ups, a lot of people can say, I can do 50 push-ups in a row, I can do 40 push-ups, all this, all that. But then let's say you check their form and you have them go all the way down, like having their chin touch the ground, and then you have them come back up and you have them go down slow. Then that 50 might get cut down to 10, 12, maybe 13. So it's just all about, again, trying to master that form and increase reps with those form. So, that's progressive overload there. Another point would be to interchange with different variations of a particular movement. Example, since this is a pulling session here that you're watching, you're going to see me do 2 types of pull-ups. I'm doing L-sit chin-ups, and I'm doing arched back chest to bar pull-ups, or trying to get my chest to bar for most of the reps. And these are, in a way, almost completely different movements. They still work my back, but to very, very different degrees. The arched back pull-ups are going to work more of my traps, rhomboids, lats, upper lats, I would say. And then with the L-sit chin-up, it's working my core, of course. It's working my lower lats. It's working my biceps a lot more. So, with changing the variation, changing the style of a movement, it can become something completely different. And then now you have practically a whole new exercise to become better at, right? So with doing a push-up, you can go from standard push-up, and then you can go from a pike push-up, right? A standard push-up will bias more of chest development, and then a pike push-up will still have some chest, but it's going to have mostly your shoulders. And again, completely different movement, right? Now you're doing an overhead movement instead of a horizontal movement that would train your chest. And I'm not saying to drop those basic forms, I'm not saying to like get rid of the push-up once you're able to do pike push-ups, because those are two different movements which have many different benefits that differ from one another. So you don't want to abandon any old or basic movements because you're able to do something that's a bit more advanced. You are probably gonna have to be pretty creative and, you know, do some research on your own when it comes to different exercise variations. There can be like so many different variations of just the basic, you know, push-up and pull-up, right? Just examples, you know, going from between both of them would be like having a closer grip, right? Having a closer grip with both of those movements will work more of your arms. And then let's say having a wider grip, maybe a wider grip with a push-up will have more chest. Wider grip with a pull-up will have like more upper back. And then, you know, just doing the exercises explosively, doing the laterally, like trying to work up to a one-arm push-up or trying to work up to like a one-arm pull-up or doing like assisted one-arm pull-ups. Then there's implementations of different types of equipment, such as gymnastic rings, parallettes, dip bars. There's anything, right? Just any type of thing to help you change up the variations within your exercises to help you just, you know, get different forms of stimulus whilst doing, you know, the same general movement pattern. So all in all, don't give up on bodyweight calisthenics when there's so much out there to be explored, right? Again, just be creative. You have to, you know, just go out there, find your own exercises. You know, I'm still finding a lot of exercises as well in order to kind of challenge myself without having to add weight. Again, of course, this is the whole point of the channel at the moment, you know, of not having any weights added or anything like that, just pure body weight. So combining all 3 points I made, such as adding more reps, mastering a certain movement, and having different variations, they all coincide together because, again, you're starting out with a push-up. You're only able to do 10 push-ups, and then you're now progressing to 20 push-ups. Now you clean your form. And with that clean form, you go back down to 10. And then now you're mastering that cleaner form and then getting even cleaner and cleaner form until you're machine 30 push-ups. Imagine you probably have, you know, a great chest, like great shoulders, great triceps, and just apply that to any other type of movement when it comes to calisthenics. And, you know, that's just about all I have to say here. I really did like explaining this whole thing. Thanks you guys for, you know, watching. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have more of my video still playing. So, you know, again, you want to see me exercise and whatnot, you're just going to see the rest of that. Thank you guys for listening and see you guys in the next video. Oh.